Today I'm working on this water heater for a neighbor. What the complaint is that her water is smelling. So one of the things that can cause that is an anode rod that goes down into the tank that keeps it from getting rusty in there. But after a while, those anode rods, especially the magnesium ones, start to kind of self-sacrifice, and they basically deteriorate, collect all these minerals on it, and then starts making your water stink. We tried to switch this out the other day, and it is a square nut. That means the top of it is the shape of a square. And sometimes you can use a 12-point socket to get on that and get it loose, but we tried multiple sockets multiple times to get that to turn, and it's just slipping. So I actually ordered some square sockets to hopefully be able to get this loose. I don't want to have to undo all the piping and everything to tip it down. So I'm trying to do it all right here. I brought down my air impact today, my 1/2-inch impact. Hopefully I can crack that loose today with the 1/2-inch impact and the square sockets I got off of Amazon. I went ahead and bought the sockets because I'll probably end up running into stuff like this in the future. So just have it in my tool chest. We're gonna get the water shut off, get the water drain hose opened up, and try to get this loose. We think this means this was purchased in 2015, and that means the rod is over 10 years old, so it's a good chance if it's never been changed, it is probably pretty bad shape. So another thing I did the other day was we couldn't budge that anode rod, and so I sprayed some PV blaster on the top of it, hoping that it'll soak into some of the threads and maybe help break it loose. I noticed we might have moved this just a little bit the other day. Well, I don't have much to play with because this line will crack pretty easy, so we're just gonna leave it right there. So we're gonna shut the water supply off right here. Comes in through the wall and then runs through a filter there and then into the softener and other parts of the house. Open this little drain hose up here. She has it running into her sump pit right there. This tank will probably not drain down much until we get this anode rod out. Once we do, it should drain out. And we actually want to flush it out so that if there's any sediment or something build up on the bottom, it'll clean itself out a little bit. I gotta look for the breaker though so I can shut the power off to this. We don't want our heater on with it empty. All right. Hopefully we can find the right breaker. Oh, nice, it's labeled. Water heater number 8. This is the socket set I bought. See how the sockets are square? And then they have some male square sockets as well in case you have a depressed square nut. So hopefully I have the right size. I'm gonna try a 3/4. So because we got the nut out, now we're letting some air in and it's draining the tank. So this water should be hot, it's warm. Hot water will be at the top, so the hot water will come out last probably, but it's definitely warm. Okay, so I had a little camera difficulty, but I used my 1/2-inch impact and this extension and my square socket, and that air impact knocked this loose, no problem. I was surprised though, because now that the plug is out, there is no anode rod. So somebody must have just either took out the anode rod and plugged it, or for some reason this heater didn't come with one, which I highly doubt. So I'm wondering if they just took it out because some people don't like anode rods in their water heaters because they do know that eventually it will start making the water smell. But that's also very dangerous because you don't have anything protecting the inside of your tank from rust. And there's really hard water here. I can smell the water right now draining out of this tank and smells like rotten eggs. So this definitely needs an anode rod in it. I bought this anode rod off of Amazon. This is a zinc aluminum anode rod. It's segmented, which means that it's flexible. If we had a solid rod, there's no way we could get it in here without tipping the tank over after we unhooked all the connections. But because of this, we can just work it right into that hole. So I'm going to let this water finish draining out, and then I'm going to put some Teflon tape on here and set this in here. I really thought I was gonna get to show you a nasty anode rod. Okay, so yeah, we wanna wrap the tape this way so it doesn't come undone when we're screwing it into the tank. Okay, once that gets done draining, we can use our dedicated socket here to screw this in. While we're waiting for the tank to drain, I'm just kind of figuring out here if this is going to be the right length. And because the drain valve is right here, it's almost even with this. And so I'm thinking if I probably ought to take a couple inches off the end of this just to make sure it's not sitting kind of like that at the bottom. So I'm going to go cut the end, a couple inches off the end here. There we go. So how these sockets work is obviously you have a square top on this plug here, this pipe plug, and a square female part here, and then it just fits right over there. Super good grip. There's no spinning on that. So this is 3/4 inch NPT, and the anode rod has 3/4 inch NPT, so it should fit. This was a 5/8. So since we missed the actual loosening of the plug here in the tank, I'll just show you what I use for a setup. So I mean, I don't have any room here to work. So I took this extension. I actually wish I would have had a little shorter one, but then it went down on the nut, and then I took this impact, fitted on here, and then yeah, just held this real stable as I hit it, and it cracked that plug loose right away. So that is the ticket right there to loosening up a anode rod, in my opinion. 1/2 inch air impact. We're getting down to a dribble now, so we're getting almost empty. This took almost 30 to 45 minutes to empty this whole tank, which makes sense at the rate it was draining. Probably about a gallon in a minute. Still stinks. Yeah, I see a little bit of sediment in the water. Just a little bit of floaties. I'm gonna go get an air hose and just blow some air in that tank. All right, I got this little sweeper extension I grabbed. I'm gonna use it to get down to the hole, and then I'm gonna kind of cover the hole here and try to get some pressure into that tank and blow the rest of it out. All right, now we're gonna get ready and put this new rod in. Got the tank emptied out. This is where this segmented rod is really handy, is you can turn this corner here. There's no way we'd get a full straight rod in unless we tip the tank, which would be a lot more work. So here we're down to the nut. Make sure we got a nice smooth entry. Now put this socket on there, and I'm going to kind of twist the socket so I can control how far down this, how quick this drops. Kind of held it to the side. Now I'm going to try to start my threads. I feel like they're getting tighter, so that means we got a good start. I'm definitely not going to use my impact to tighten this back up. Okay, we're snugged up really good. So now we're going to get this drain hose closed back up so we can start putting some water in this tank again. I'm just going to leave this socket right here since it came with the anode rod. That way it'll be here if we ever need to change it again. Go over here and turn the water back on. I can hear the water filling up the tank over there. You can hear the water flowing in from the top. Once it stops making so much noise, we'll know there's enough water in here. It's mostly full. Then we'll turn the power back on, because we don't want those heater elements. Usually there's two, somewhere in here and then somewhere up here. We don't want them getting hot without water around them. That's hard on them to make them burn out. I'm not exactly sure what all this does, what the purpose of this is, but two things you can use it for is to let some air out. Because obviously as this tank is filling up, it's going to push some air up here. And you can hear that when I open that. And also, you can, when you open that up, you'll be able to tell if the water's up to this level or not. Okay, now we have some water coming out with this valve open here. So we are up to this level. I always hate messing with these valves because they tend to leak sometimes. It looks okay though. And now we're gonna go turn the power back on and should be good to go. One last look to make sure we don't have any leaks around this anode rod. Looks good. Well, that's gonna do it for this project today. I hope our water starts smelling better. Make sure you leave your comments under the video. I like to get feedback from you guys, hear what you have to say about things. I learn a lot from you guys. I don't know everything, for sure. It's always a learning process, but I'm willing to try almost anything. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, good luck with all your projects.